What's up, everybody? It's HBT with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. I'm with my man, Christopher Burt.
People's Podcast. So what's going on, y'all?
And we are live, man. We came in a couple minutes late because Chris and I, we just now found some breaking news, some interesting news. And that's AEW Collision will be in our hometown of Greenville, South Carolina. August 5th, 2023.
Yes.
So
tickets go on sale. What's next month? June the 9th.
Okay, June the 9th. So, man, hey.
Next month, yeah.
No, June the 9th. Yeah, we already in June. We're June the 1st. So, we got 8 days when those tickets are on sale. So, we'll be checking it out, man. And hopefully, AEW Collision can hold up to all the hype that's been bestowed on it. And maybe we'll get to see CM Punk here, man. Who knows?
And I think, as far as I can remember, that would be the first time CM Punk's been in Greenville.
Yes, it will.
I can remember.
Yeah, as far as I know.
I can remember.
Yeah, as far as I know. And we are rocking here in Greenville, South Carolina at the beautiful Unity Park. Yes. Chris, if you want to move over to the side or whatever, people maybe can see. No, move that way. People can see the background, some of it or whatever. Yeah. So we're at Unity Park, man. And, we basically doing this. And, guys, this right here, hopefully, like I say, AEW holds up to what they're being bumped up to be, man. They're being hyped up to be.
And now this is the first show in Greenville, so let's see how Collision actually does, because they're gonna have some under their belt by the time they get here.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think they should have about two or three under their belt by the time they get to Greenville. So hopefully they've worked out some kinks, if there are any.
Yes.
By the time they get here, this show will be run smooth as possible. So.
And Greenville is a hardcore wrestling town, so hey, we'll see how it works out here when they get here, man. All these southern people here, and I mean, we do got a lot of people from up north and all over the country now, but we'll see how it works out here in Greenville, man. Because if they can do well in Greenville, they can do well pretty much anywhere, in my opinion. All right, man. So JL said a few things. Go ahead and get JL's comments real quick, Chris, and then we're going to get into what we're talking about.
All right, man. Let me get JL's comments real quick here, man. I'll get to you here in a second, JL, man.
In the camera a little bit more.
All right, gotta get in here.
Yeah, we got to get in here a little bit close, guys.
Gotta get a tight frame. JL, man. What did you say here, JL? What did you say, man? I want to get to you, JL. JL says, who's Dropkick and Body Slam? Is that a band? Oh, Lord.
Man, JL, get real.
Get real. He said, I got to say I love the intro, mainly the last part. And he said,
I know you do.
And then he said, my weather here is bad, pure rain.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we got some beautiful weather here right now. So,
but yeah, guys, we're going to get into it, man. So this first episode of Dropkicks and Body Slams, we're talking about 3 old school legends and 3 potential stars of today that could possibly meet their standards of the old school guys or even precede it.
Yes.
So we got Hogan, Flair, and Macho Man.
Yeah, Macho Man.
And Macho Man. And for the new school, we got Roman Reigns, Kenny Omega,
and MJF. And one thing, okay, first we want to talk about, let's talk about the one who was in the business the longest. That's Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Yeah,
Richard Flair.
Richard Flair.
Self-made man in the business.
Yeah.
And I will say, when he first started, I mean, Ric Flair came out, and Ric Flair, when he first started, he wanted to be another Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, he wanted to be rambling Ricky Rhodes.
Yes. And I mean, he was a bigger guy. He was 6'2", 300 pounds. Yep. And then a little bit later on, a few years later, after he had started, Ric Flair had an accident.
Plane crash.
He was in a plane crash accident that pretty much took him down 2 inches, got a little smaller, and he lost that weight, and he went into a flamboyant style, and he started using the old style of Buddy Rogers.
Yep.
And, man, he pretty much built himself up in the southern states, and so strong as a wrestler here in the southern states, and wrestling people like Andre the Giant, and being backed by people like Blackjack Mulligan, Wahoo McDaniel, John Studd,
Tim
Ernie
Woods.
Lance, Mr. Wrestling, Tim Woods. People like that built him up and they built him up. Ken Patera,
Harley Race.
Yeah, Harley Race built him up into this major superstar. By the time he hit 25 years old, in 1975, by 1975, 1977, 1978, he was worldwide known. He was wrestling over in Japan, doing a lot of things, and like I said, he was in a lot of big matches. So pretty much self-made, never had won the world title at that time. No. But you know, he had plenty of United States title runs, and he won the number one regional title in the world at that time, the Mid-Atlantic Championship, several times. So a major wrestler, man, who pretty much came up, like I said, came up hard and wrestled every week to do what he had to do, and wrestled on TV a good bit to get to the status that he got to, Chris.
Yeah, and the only person, like I said, to compare, to even get close to where Flair was or is, MJF.
Yes.
I mean, because you see a lot of similarities as far as ego.
No doubt.
Ego, I dare say they go stride for stride.
Yes. Style of dress, because MJF flamboyant, coming out in nice suits. He's more relaxed. He's not wearing the three-piece suits like Flair always did. And basically a heel, and that's what Flair, his first 7 years of his career, totally heel. And
even when he was a
fan favorite,
people still hated him.
Yes.
Because he still had that air, that aura, the arrogance about him.
Yes.
And MJF is the same way.
No doubt.
Now, the only thing that separates the two is the wrestling.
Yes.
That if MJ, like Harry always said, if MJF put in the more time and more wrestling and wrestle more on TV, it could balance out. But because MJF feels that he is an attraction, which he is, don't get me wrong, he is an attraction, and tries to live that attraction lifestyle by basically saying, hey, I only need to wrestle so many days or show my face so many days, and et cetera, because I'm going to get paid regardless.
Oh, yeah.
And that attitude right there, I would say, takes it above Flair.
Oh, yeah. And the whole thing about MJF, the difference is this, when it boils down to it, and what Chris is talking about. Now, you know, Nature Boy Ric Flair, now his first 7 years, like, you know, before he had the title, I mean, he wrestled all the time. Now, MJF, before he got the title, he did wrestle numerous. He wrestled a good bit on TV. You know, he was always present. But you know, early on in his reign, which Ric Flair later on in his reign out there, he done won that title numerous times. He didn't wrestle as much, especially on TV. But you know, that's something that I feel that MJF needs to do. MJF needs to get in there and perform a little bit more while he's on his early reign, so he can pretty much get to that point where he can say, okay, I can do exactly what I want to do, and the fans are still gonna be behind me and support me. Because the thing about it is, this match that he had last weekend on that pay-per-view, from what I understand, MJF showed out in that match, and that is great.
And because they kept talking about this headlock takeover that he kept doing, it was like, and we know wrestling fans, and we know, Harry, you know, a headlock takeover is nothing special,
right?
Nothing that it would just be a finishing move.
Oh yeah.
But for some odd reason, they built this thing up like it was the greatest finisher since the power driver.
Oh yeah. And the whole thing about it is, you got to look at it this way: these matches, that match is going to hold the fans just for a little while.
Yeah.
You got to continue on with it. But yes.
Because, I mean, it's like you're giving a starving man a steak.
Mm-hmm.
You fill him up that one time, he's like, oh, man, I'm good. Thank you very much. I can't even eat it all. But guess what? Next time you see him, he's going to expect something more.
That's right.
And if you don't give it to him, he's going to be like, oh, so you just teasing me.
Yes.
And that's what you're doing. You basically teasing the fans. You just giving them an appetizer. You just give them a little sample.
That's right.
That's all you're doing. But yeah, that's what MJF does, man. That's why he says why he thinks he's an attraction.
Oh, yeah.
You only get me they get me in the ring so many times. I'm not going to wrestle on AEW. I'm not going to wrestle on Dark.
You're right.
Heck, he might not even wrestle on Collision for all we know.
That's true.
I mean, you know, so.
And one thing that we can tell you, and this one thing I want to say, Chris. Now, we're going to get to Hogan in just a little bit, but we're going to go with Randy Savage next. And this is something that Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan had over Ric Flair that he didn't have. He had that big media machine behind him in New York. That's the reason Ric Flair had to wrestle as many times as he did. That's the reason he got to the point where people consider him the greatest world champion. He was the world champion. He was the best, and they compare. That's the only way he can get compared to Hulk Hogan is because he wrestled all the time and he wrestled all over the world. He was always performing. Hulk Hogan had a light schedule. He would defend his belt maybe every 40 days or whatever. Ric Flair defended his belt every week, sometimes 17 straight days, 14 to 17 straight days. It was horrendous, his schedule. For MJF to pretty much keep himself on that level and put himself on that level where Roman Reigns is, let's look at it. Let's be truthful. He's in a smaller company, just like Flair was in a smaller company with Jim Crockett Promotions and then WCW. He was in a smaller company, so he had to do that.
Yeah, he had to put himself out there.
Exactly.
Roman Reigns, number one, he's got his family's legacy.
That's right.
And then he's got the push of the WWE, who his family came through.
That's right.
So his legacy is set.
No doubt.
He had to blaze his own trail.
That's right.
His trail was a lot easier.
Yes.
He didn't have to make it. It was already set for him.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like Apple going up against Rico or something like what's that old
Nokia?
Nokia or something like some small outfit, man, that's just basically coming up and that big light that shine, those big stars, they already there. It's all already set, man. They it's already shining bright for Roman Reigns. So MJF has to do just a little bit more if he really wants to be out there. People know who he is,
and Roman Reigns has earned that right to work that schedule.
There's no doubt.
I hate to say it. I mean, you don't get. Think about it. When he was with the Shield, all them days on TV.
What's up, man?
Y'all hungry?
No, we're good, brother.
Y'all
Appreciate it, though.
Yeah.
Yes,
I thought y'all was some homeless people. I was gonna feed
you. No,
we
good, man.
Hold on, man. Appreciate it, man. All right. But definitely, man. But yeah, Roman Reigns, 100%, man.
He worked his butt off, man. He worked his butt off, man, and did everything, and he basically, like I said, all the time with the Shield, working live events, TV, non-TV, and then when he finally did his solo run, he was doing the same thing, TV, no TV.
Oh, yeah.
And then Vince finally was like, oh, we can make money with this guy. We're going to push this guy. And then that's when they pushing us down his throat. And we couldn't stand him. And
that's right.
He basically made his way. He fought through all that to earn what he has now.
Hey, no doubt about that.
And you got to think, anybody in that company, Harry, they would love to have his schedule.
Oh, they
would kill each other 100%. To have his schedule, man.
100%. But yeah, that's, we're going to go ahead and roll on. Yeah. But that right there, man, like I said, and Ric Flair, we see what his legacy has done for him.
Yeah.
And there was so many wrestlers out here that had pretty much looked like they had surpassed Ric Flair. And Ric Flair was a name that just basically came up and they say, oh, he was great. But Ric Flair, we see how big of a wrestler that he is, how big of his presence. And I tell you what, the main thing was outside of his great blistering promos that he had, people remember what he did in the ring. The man fought wars in the ring. Hey.
That he did. He did.
No doubt.
Did. Now, and like you were saying, Macho Man.
Yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Randy Savage. He blazed his trail. He came from the independents. His father on the promotion up in Tennessee.
Yeah, Lanny Poffo.
Yeah, Lanny Poffo on the up in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But Randy didn't want, obviously, the story. Randy
Angelo Poffo.
Angelo.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Randy didn't want to have nothing to do with wrestling.
That's right.
He was hung up on baseball.
Yeah, he was playing baseball.
He was hard on baseball. That was gonna be his ticket.
Yes.
But unfortunately, when he got cut, the final cut, I think, of a pro team, I forget which one it was. But he was like, you know what?
Was it the Marlins? I'm not sure.
I don't know if it was the Marlins or the Reds.
Yeah, one of the two.
It was a pro team.
It wasn't the Marlins. Marlins didn't have a team at that time.
Yeah, so it's probably the Reds.
Yeah, I think it was the Reds. Yeah, I think he played with Cincinnati Reds.
And he got cut.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what? That's it. I can't do this no more. I put my heart and soul into it. I've given this sport everything I could and literally made it to the pinnacle.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna cut me? I'm done.
Yes.
And then that's when he basically started talking to his brother Lanny and was like, I'm thinking about getting into the business and everything, et cetera, and talked to his dad. And lo and behold, some years later, here we got Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, and speaking of Randy Macho Man Savage and his father Angelo Poffo, WWE just purchased those tapes. So they just got
was it IWA?
ICW. No, not ICW. IWF or something like that. One of that. It could be IWA, but I think it's IWF because IWA was another association. But I think it's IWF. But you definitely can look it up if you see it new on the network or whatever.
Yeah, they have the old tapes. Yeah.
Yes, they do. And Randy Poffo, who ended up becoming Randy Savage. Man, he's a wild man up in Tennessee.
Yep.
And I mean, a great wrestler.
And I think he modeled himself after what was it? King Arkea?
Yes.
Yes,
he did.
Madman King.
Yes, he did.
King Arkea or something.
Yeah, he was a madman. And then he got, and I was pretty much shocked because he ended up coming through Mid-Atlantic or certain places in wrestling and spots, and he ended up in the WWE. And I remember when he ended up there, and I'm like, man, this guy really never was that good. Except for he was wild. But he get up there, man. He has a great promo, and
and his
charisma off the charts.
Oh my gosh, his charisma was crazy because they ended up after his dad's promotion was about to go under.
Yes,
they joined up with Jerry Lawler.
Yes,
and Jerry Lawler just basically took him in, absorbed him, took him in. They started working for Jerry, and then Jerry was like, "Hey, Vince, this guy's got something."
And
ended up going to WWE.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Jacoby Peter, what's up,
going
man?
on, man? Jacoby says, "What's up, Chris and Harry? Look out for Bay." Or something like that. He said, hold on, what did he say exactly? Okay. He said, what's up, Chris and Harry? You guys look at Baywatch. Look at Baywatch.
Oh, okay. Baywatch. Okay.
But yeah. So
all right.
But yeah, man. So Macho Man is another one of those guys, and the only person I can think of, Harry, that we got on our list that could possibly take his spot would be maybe Kenny
Omega?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah,
without the same charisma.
Yeah, now he don't have the charisma nowhere near.
As far as a wrestler, and Kenny Omega just as daring as
Macho
Man, and Kenny Omega has a wrestling style, and I mean, when it comes to being gifted, you got to say this man just as gifted as Ric Flair was.
Yeah,
I mean, as far as his ring savvy and his ring. Everything that he does, he's just as skilled as what Ric Flair was. So going back to the Nature Boy Ric Flair, but Randy Savage was pretty skilled himself and will fight, and that's one thing Kenny Omega would do. Kenny Omega will fight like crazy.
Yes.
But yeah, Randy Savage, man, and Randy Savage got involved. His charisma took him to the Slim Jim commercials and took him to doing other different things.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the Spider-Man movie cameo.
Yeah.
And everything.
Speaking of Baywatch, he was on Baywatch. So but yeah, so definitely
back in WCW days.
Yes, and that's probably what Jacoby was talking about. But that guy, man, Macho Man, Randy Savage, man, he got his due, and he definitely deserved every single bit of it. And that's something what Kenny Omega can do. Kenny Omega, and like I said, he's another one playing for the smaller league. Yeah. And looks like he's about to maybe try to transfer over here sometime in the near future.
Yeah.
And he's somebody
because I honestly see after all the wars, Kenny did in New Japan.
Yes.
And he's done a ton of them.
Right.
Because he was over there for some years.
Yes.
And coming to AEW, you got to think, Harry, if he's going to go, he needs to go now.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he don't have too much longer, man.
That's right.
That he could go
to
really make that ultimate stamp.
With all the injuries and everything and the style that he's wrestling, he needs to actually go now and get that taken care of. There's no doubt about that.
Because, I mean, if he don't go now, man, he's never going to go.
That's true.
If he don't go now, he's never going to go because we've said before in previous shows, Harry, if Kenny Omega had that machine of WWE behind him, and granted, when you look at the WWE fans, there might be only a handful out of the whole WWE fan base that actually know who Kenny Omega is know his body of work.
That's true.
Almost like AJ Styles. Yeah. A lot of people knew about AJ Styles, but when you look at the overall picture, it was only a select few.
That's right.
So if Kenny's gonna go, he needs to go now, man.
There's no easy answer.
I mean, granted, he's gonna work a harder schedule.
Yes.
He's gonna work a harder schedule. Yes, and that's what you got to do when you do.
There's no doubt. But yeah, definitely, Randy Macho Man made his, definitely made his path, and he came up just as hard as Kenny Omega. He fought just as hard as Kenny Omega. He fought in a smaller promotion. Kenny Omega was over in Japan, which is a lot bigger than ICF or whatever he was down in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. But Kenny Omega had to fight his way to where he got. And like say, my man Randy Macho Man Savage did the same thing. So we see a similar path there. And man, I think it's going to be great for Kenny Omega and let's see MJF once they move on, man.
Yeah.
Once they move on,
Yeah.
unless
this whole thing is just a ruse.
Yeah,
unless they just saying it to say it and it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, and WCW, unless not WCW, ACW, I mean AC, AEW end up becoming a new WCW or something like that. And Collision, they rocked the house with Collision and they get everything right. Who knows? And with Tony Khan talking about taking his hands off of creative, maybe they can get it right. We don't know.
We're gonna have to see.
But right now, me and Chris, we are skeptical. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people out here are skeptical on what's going to happen. Yeah. But
then going back to another one, Liz Hogan.
Yeah.
The only other one, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan. If you want to look at anybody that can raise to that level, now I'm talking about wrestling. Now Roman Reigns has the wrestling world locked. Everybody knows who he is
or knows of him
in the wrestling world. It doesn't matter if you're a fan of WWE, you're a fan of AEW, you're a fan of Impact, you're a fan of NWA Power. You're one of these independent fans. You're gonna know that name. Yeah, you're gonna know that name. You're gonna know who he is. So definitely he has, and now he wants to move over into Hollywood. So basically, man, this right here is going to help him. It's going to market him to another level. Now to get to where Hulk Hogan was, he definitely gonna need the machine to get him into a movie like Stallone's movie, man. Something that's really big to move him into that status. But he definitely can move into it, but it's gonna be a harder road because Hulk Hogan, let's be real, Hulk Hogan had MTV outside of Rocky 3, which made $270 million here in the States. And I think almost $1 billion worldwide.
Yeah. And back then that was crazy, man.
Yes. And besides all that, he had MTV, and believe me, JL and anybody else, that's younger,
huge
movies was the thing.
That was a huge
people going to the movies, man, was like turning on, like getting a new game, like on your Xbox or your PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's how big it was. Going to the movies, everybody, if you got to go to the movies, that was a big thing, especially going to see a Rocky movie or whatever. It was that huge. It wasn't like we just sit back and wait for it to come on streaming or whatever. Movies was huge, and everybody was stars, and Hulk Hogan was a star. He ended up on in tabloids and everything, man, to where you could walk in your
TV shows and Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Well, y'all don't know nothing about Johnny Carson, but the late night show and all that. I mean, Hogan was everywhere, man.
Yes, and you can be in your grocery store. You can be in your grocery store. You can be in your convenience store. You go in the convenience store. You see the wrestling magazines on there.
Hogan was somewhere on there.
It was plastered out right in front of you. In the grocery stores, plastered out right in front of you as you're going into the checkout. So Hulk Hogan was everywhere.
So he had the machine behind it. You had the action figures.
Yes.
Had tons of action because I had one that was probably about 2.5, 3 feet tall.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had that big one.
I remember that.
And then I had the smaller one.
Yes.
I had the smaller one that came with the ring. I had that one. Mm-hmm. I had the workout set. You remember the workout set?
I remember that. Yeah.
I had it. And God Almighty, I wish I still had it because I could sell that thing for a couple of million.
Yeah, no wrestler ever was marketed like Hulk Hogan.
He was out there, man.
But make no mistake, Ric Flair, Macho Man, they got on those talk shows too. Yeah. Even though Ric Flair was in a smaller company, people knew him worldwide, man. I mean, he was known, but not as much.
And Flair really wasn't on talk shows like that.
No, he wasn't. He didn't really care about that. Ric Flair was the consummate wrestler.
Now, imagine, that's what he wanted to be. Imagine if he had.
Oh gosh. If
Ric Flair had done, let's say if Ric Flair had taken the path Hogan did.
Oh yeah, Ric Flair would have been like The Rock. I agree with our old partner Michael. Ric Flair would have been like The Rock.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that. I mean,
if he would have taken that path and been like, okay, I can tap into both worlds, the Hollywood and wrestling.
Women loved him, and men wanted to be like him. A lot of men wanted to be like him. I mean, as cool as he was, didn't matter what color you was. He had the swag. He had swag like crazy. He was the man, 100%.
Yeah. But unfortunately, it was Hogan's path, man. He had that machine, and he had that, everything about him, and And our man Lucas Thomas is in the building.
What's
Lucas
up,
Thomas?
Lucas?
What's up? Lucas says, "What's up, Chris and Harry?" I think Ricky Stark writing his contract to meet his friend Cody Rhodes.
Oh, okay, man, that's interesting. Hey, go up north, man, and rock with Cody Rhodes because Ricky Starks.
He's got potential, like
big time potential. But one thing
how are they using it?
Yeah, he can't go and market himself like Rock up there. He just can't do that, man. He can't do that in WWE.
No, that would not get over.
Yeah, people will, man, they will boo him out of that doggone place, out of those stadiums, man. But like I said, hey, Chris and I, man, we appreciate you coming on for this first episode of Drop Kicks and Body Slams, man, and checking out everything that we had to say. I know we didn't really get into anything about AEW, and as far as WWE, we didn't really want to do that. This is going to be something totally different.
Yeah.
We will be doing these shows, man. Sometimes I'll be on by myself. Sometimes Chris might end up being on by himself. But we are going to do this because this is going to be something totally different. And we appreciate everybody coming in and rocking with us.
Now, don't get us wrong. We still be doing our lives.
Exactly, 100%.
We usually do, but we're going to incorporate this. So this is something new. Giving y'all a little bit something different
no doubt.
To talk about and think about too. So
All right, but get them last few.
All right, Jake Wilson, what's up,
What's
Chris
up,
and
Jake?
Harry? When I seen you on the beach, I think of Sunshine song by Ron Ayers classic, Sunshine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Jake Wilson said everybody loves the sunshine. Yeah.
No doubt.
But unfortunately, we're not at the beach. We're at the park.
Yeah, we're at the park. They got a water park here, but you know,
we got a water park. But we ain't at the beach.
Yeah.
The beach is 4 hours south of where we are.
Exactly.
But guys, that's
pretty much it. And like I said, we appreciate my man Jake Wilson coming in, Jacoby Peter coming in, JL coming in. And who else we got here?
That's it. That's it.
Jake, Jacoby, JL. And all right, well, appreciate everybody coming in. Our girl Melanie McKee hitting
dropping us with that news,
telling us AEW Collision will be in Greenville, South Carolina, our hometown, here on August the 5th. So Chris and I, we definitely going to be there. Check that out. In 8 days, they'll be selling tickets, so we definitely going to get our tickets. And we're going to check this thing out, man. And hopefully AEW Collision is all as cracked up to be, man. It's hyped up to be.
I hope so, man.
Definitely excited to see that.
Because if I get tickets and it ain't worth nothing, I'm going to be mad. And y'all going to hear about it too.
But we appreciate you guys joining the Straight Up Wrestling family, man, and rocking with us today. But right now, man, we are out of here, and we'll see you guys later. Stay straight up, but we are out of here. Peace.